we're talking about what's eating you. Talking about what's eating you.
Proudly brought to you by RogersHood Apothecary.
I had a worm in my left eye. It swam multiple years. I went to the eye doctor and he said, oh, that's just normal. The floaters are normal. Well, after cleansing, I now know that floaters are not normal and I don't have them. And I know when it's time to cleanse because I'll get some floaters.
You actually just confirmed for me my theory because I wasn't sure about that. But after I did your ParaFy cleanse the first time, I didn't have any floaters and I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, I just saw one right now.
Oh my God.
So I feel like it's maybe
You're
time
like,
to cleanse again.
Cleanse.
It's time to cleanse. That's a signal. Now at least I know that. But please, let's get into the worms a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you are deemed the worm queen. Like, this is what you are.
Yep.
How did you become the worm queen?
Well, I went viral on TikTok and I didn't want to be known as the worm lady. I mean,
It's just not sexy.
no, I needed to be crowned something.
Gotcha. So you went viral talking about worms.
Yes, I talked about my cleanse that I had done,
Okay.
which wasn't with ParaFy, which ParaFy now is my product that I've created because of my experience that I've shown on my social media platforms. I didn't want to talk about someone else's product anymore. I wanted to talk about my own. I wanted to be able to know without a shadow of a doubt how my tinctures are made. I wanted to make sure that they were always herbs, not natural ingredients, not some coloring in there, just really what we're intended to take with herbs.
Yeah, truly nature.
Yes.
They're made from nature.
Yes.
They are all natural for real.
They
Organic,
are.
herbal. That's what it is.
Some of it's foraged. So, I mean, you can't really get more organic than that.
Yeah.
Then you're
That's
literally going out into the woods and you're taking, the beautiful herbs, usnea and lungwort and red artist, the ingredients in there, and you're soaking them like our ancestors used to do. This is how they used to process medicine.
to extract.
Yes, before the synthetic drive started 100 years ago.
I love your formulas and recipes too. Me being a plant person as well, we're definitely plant people. We have that in common.
Together.
And I love your recipes. I love the herbs you chose. And I feel like it's such a unique and special blend and recipe. I also love that Jeremy, your husband, made the decision. If they want to see worms,
Totally.
let's let them see worms. So he basically decided that the amount of herbs you were going to use was going to be a high enough dose that people were going to physically see worms leave their body, which I did. My childhood friend called me and was like, Sam, you will never believe what I just went through for the past 2 months. I had a parasitic infection. My entire body was overloaded. I passed the craziest looking stuff you'll never believe. When she listed off to me what she saw leave her body, weird stuff, like all the worms, of course, sacks of eggs, sacks of worms. Something that she said was like a hairball that she has no idea what it was. It was a hairy thing.
Wait. Was that your friend?
Not the picture I saw recently.
Oh, okay.
But when I saw it, I went, oh, other people have passed hairy things. So
some of the stuff.
Weird, right?
So
her
weird.
body moved out weird stuff. Now, when she tells me this, I went, wait a minute. We're the same age. We grew up down the street from each other. We're about the same size body. Pretty similar lifestyles.
Like, oh my God.
What's in me? If all that was in you, what is in me? Like, I need to cleanse and find out. I just knew right away when she told me, I said, I have to do this. I'm doing it now because I'm extreme. I'm totally cool with diving right in. I'm an Aries sun. I'm like, let's go. So I was like, okay, I want to do a cleanse with you. She said, perfect. I want to do this woman's cleanse who's gone viral online talking about worms. And it has a binder in it.
Which is a huge thing.
Huge. So she's like, this woman though, it's called ParaFy from RogersHood. She has a binder in it. It's all natural herbs. I want to do it. So let's do it together. I'm like, bet, like say less, let's go. Then I go, because I'm extreme, I go onto your page and I'm liking all your stuff because I'm diving in deep. I want to know everything there is to know about this before I do it so I can do it right and do it effectively and thoroughly. I'm liking all your stuff. And then me and my friends, we buy our kits and you slide into my DMs. and was like,
Like, hey,
hi,
Sam.
Sam Bruno. Like, have you ever tried the ParaFy kit? I'd love to send you one. I was like, I just bought one 20 minutes ago. You said, nope, I'm sending you a free one. Let's go. Like, let's go. I'm here to support you.
You're Sam Bruno. I mean, yeah.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks. It was very appreciated. It honestly just felt like what came through really in that moment is I felt your passion for really actually genuinely wanting to help people.
Yeah.
It was very loud and clear what your mission was in that moment. I went and told my friends and they were like, what is she, an angel? I'm like, I think so. I'm pretty sure she is actually.
I think I sponsored your whole group
You did.
cleanse.
You did.
I'm like, wait a minute. You have a group cleanse going on? You're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I got you.
You sure did. Yeah, you took care of us. And we dove right in head first. I made sure my drainage pathways were open first. Very important.
Yeah.
First step. They were anyway because of my lifestyle, but I went extra because I just wanted to make sure. Girl, when I tell you day 3, I saw the first worm.
Day 3 is really a day for a lot of people. Day 3 was mine when I saw everything too. My first cleanse.
It tripped me out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it actually is real.
Yeah.
It hit like, this really is real.
Yep.
It's just so.
It doesn't matter how clean you are.
Yes.
It doesn't matter anything.
No.
If you've never tried to remove something that's been in your body for decades, it's literally in there.
They can live in your body for decades.
For like your whole life. Pinworms just settle on in your appendix. And that's where they live. You can try and get rid of the pinworms, but unless you're doing multiple cleanses over time, they're just replicating.
Yes.
And they're so smart because they know exactly how to hide.
Very intelligent. They create complete ecosystems inside of the body.
They do.
They use you as a host to build their towns and cities and villages. And it's crazy. If that one worm was all I saw, that would have still just tripped me out.
So where did you see the most?
Well, I saw hundreds more leave my body. And I never thought I would ever say that in my life because I was so healthy. I had no idea I was overloaded with worms. But parasites, worms, bad bacteria, candida, viruses, mold, mucus, heavy metals, they all team up together and they build nests and they live in this thing together.
And they grow and they create an ecosystem in your body.
In multiple places in your body, not just your gut.
Blood, tissue, muscle, brain. All of the aches and pains you have could be something in your joints. Yeah. Like they really do take a hold and they want to be in there.
What is happening during the full moon in our bodies that is connected to parasites and worms?
Serotonin flows more freely during the full moon and they live off of your serotonin.
And melatonin reduces, which is why you're more wired and not as tired during the full moon. It's not as easy to sleep. Serotonin rises, melatonin lowers.
And they eat it. They feed off of it, making you feel bad about yourself because serotonin is the happy chemical that runs through your body. So it's really no joke when someone says things get crazy during the full moon because your chemicals are imbalancing.
Yeah.
And they're eating it while they're trying to reproduce and create more communities in your house. They actually say to go 3 days prior to the full moon because that's when they start to dislodge themselves from your body, different parts to make new communities in your body.
They're coming out of burrowing. Yeah. They're coming out of hiding.
Yes. And they can flow more freely because of the serotonin is flowing more freely in your body.
Man, they gotta go.
They've got
all
to go.
Of them. I was on a mission. The second I started, when I saw that, I was like, okay. Day 4, I was not expecting what happened. I went to the steam room, was purposely breathing steam in through my nose as deep as I could. And I went there with the intention of sweating. So I'm all in the steam room, breathing in eucalyptus, like in there to sweat, drainage pathways, clear out my sinuses. Not knowing that that was going to cause me to go home and blow my nose and see a worm come out of my nose.
Oh my gosh, Sam.
And that was the first worm of over 100. I lost count at some point. I couldn't even count how many left my nose, Kim. My nose. So I know I did tests that said I didn't have parasites in my gut. So like, I don't think that they're in my gut. But I put a fluoro water into a jar. And I made it into ozonated water with my Therasage bubbler. And then I added it to my Navage and I added some RogersHood tincture drops. I put ParaFy in there and Sustain in there and Immune in there. And
I'm pretty sure a worm came out. So you guys, listen, ParaFy cleansing, you gotta keep doing it. It's like real. When Kim says 3 to 4 times a year, she's not just trying to sell you kits. Like, I've been an avid, I'm constantly cleansing. Like I do mini cleanses, but really I think what this is telling me is I need to do another full one. I need to do another 30 days. So I'll insert it here if you guys want to see it. I mean, I have like video and picture of, do you guys want to see the nose worm? Because it's in my Navaju. You can see it. It's very clear. It's clear. It's a long squiggly thing. Like, what else could it be? It's not snot. It holds its shape. It's white. It's like, it's there. And when I saw it, I was like, I thought I was parasite free. So
from your gut, you were parasite free from your gut, and that's I think why it's so hard to do testing, you know. But oh my gosh, Sam! I mean, listen, I've passed worms. And I do this regularly.
I know,
and I pass worms.
That's why I'm saying it's not a one and done. Like, I know we've said that to you guys before, but like, this is proof.
At least it's not all out your mouth. Oh my God. It was talking about how like there's a guy in Oregon. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to go look it up. I'm going to find the name of this guy so that the next podcast I can say the name of the clinic that's in Oregon. And they have you, if they think you have a tapeworm, they have you put your face over a glass of milk. Because you know, it's the opposite of when you have a milk.
No. I can't. No. Are you saying...
They put you face down in a massage chair where like you have the hole, and then they put milk right here so it comes, and then I would rather do a milk bath all day, every day. You put your anus in the milk.
Finish saying what you're trying to say. Are you saying the tapeworm will come out of the mouth into the glass of milk?
Yes.
It'll come up out of the person's throat.
Yeah, because it's right there. It's right. It's literally, it can be literally like the head of it is chilling inside of your stomach.
What kind of alien creature is this? You crave milk at night? Oof. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worms or not, but
I think it is. And so, the Amish, that's what they do if, say, like a cow gets loose or the whole, like people start to get an upset stomach. The first thing they do is they say, go put everyone in a milk bath. And so as soon as that happens, they pull it out, and then they have to do it again to help extract the eggs that were you know, because you have to get the head.
Tell them what you're talking about. You're not fully saying it. If someone has a tapeworm in the Amish community, when they say get in a milk bath, they mean a bathtub that has milk in it, and they sit in there naked with their butts in the milk?
Yeah.
Why? So what will happen?
The head of the tapeworm will come out of your anus, and then you have to grab the head and pull it out.
What? What kind of alien milk-loving creatures are these?
If you suspect you have parasites, I recommend you eating like ice cream during the full moon, and you'll know immediately.
Why will you know what will happen?
Well, because they've already dislodged themselves, and now they're like super excited, and so they start to transplant themselves more places in your body from the sugar from that dairy.
And what, you'll get like more symptoms or something?
Yeah, you'll know instantly. They'll start to wiggle. That's the face of a tapeworm under a microscope. Could you imagine if this was it? Should I just leave this like this and talk and podcast this?
Is that real? Is that real?
Yeah. See those the teeth right there? They latch on to your stomach, and then rest of the body, ends up. Yeah. So it hooks on, and then it absorbs. But the reason why it's so hard to get rid of a tapeworm, and I say do things like ozone gas, is because it pulls them. It causes it to be a push and pull. Your tissue's being pushed this way. It's being pulled off, so it unlatches itself. It's like hookworm. Hookworm hooks to the side of your vein and acts like your vein. And tapeworm hooks to the side of your stomach and then wraps itself all the way down your digestive tract. And that's why they say they can be 20 to 30 feet long. It's because that's how long your digestive tract is. So from your stomach all the way down can be up to 30 feet long, and they can keep growing because they can produce 1,000,000 eggs a day because they have 46 uteruses in a rice size segment. So if you ever see rice looking things in your poop, you probably got a tapeworm, and you should go do a colonic with some ozone gas and definitely sit and drink ParaFy and get yourself a lot of hawthorn berry, hawthorn leaves, hawthorn flowers. I don't know if you guys have watched the bears with the tapeworms coming out there, but instinctually those bears know they need to go and eat hawthorn. That's why you always associate berries and bears, right? Because they're eating those berries to rid their body of tapeworms.
They were coming out of our skin.
What was?
Well, worms.
Worms were coming out of your skin.
Yeah, they were coming out of our skin. They were coming out of our pee. Our stomachs were constantly upset. And, you know, once a guy starts to not feel good after doing something, he just doesn't want to keep doing it. I'm like, no, you're going to keep doing this. And so I would go on my TikTok and I would say, hey, everyone, like, we're having these crazy die-offs. What are we missing? And I remember the Wooden Gypsy popped in and goes, you need a binder, Kim. And I'm like, what? What is that? And so I remember duetting her video and saying, listening, you know, having everyone hear that you need a binder. And so then I started looking, who has binders? Where do I find this charcoal? Where do I, you know, what do I do? And so then I started reading more about other things you should add than just charcoal, because cinnamon helps with inflammation. Clay is a different type of binder. So I was trying to decide which one I wanted to take most. And I liked cinnamon and I liked charcoal, and that's how cinnamon came about.
Wow. I feel great when I take cinnamon.
Yeah, you love cinnamon.
I love cinnamon.
Yeah.
When I wake up feeling better the next morning when I take it at night. And I want to actually just deposit this little tip here, because we actually have people comment all the time saying like, oh, I always forget to take my cinnamon. Like, oh, I did the cleanse, but I kept forgetting the binder.
It's just like another layer of detoxing.
Yes. So the tip that I love to give to people that really worked wonders for me, leave cinnamon on your nightstand.
Yes.
Because it should be taken 2 hours away from any other medicines, herbs, supplements, pharmaceuticals, because it will bind them up and you'll be wasting money, but also your body won't absorb what you're taking if you take cinnamon with it. So I just made it a habit to have it be the last thing that entered my body before I went to sleep.
Smart.
It's been 2 hours already since I took like my nighttime supplements. I did my bedtime routine. I'm winding down. I'm about to get into bed. Right there on the nightstand, you can't forget, because it's like that habit. It's like when you're forming a habit and you use visual as part of the steps to form the new habit, you put something in eyes view that you can't forget it, right? So that's a good tip for everyone. Just keep cinnamon on your nightstand. Let it be the very last thing you put into your mouth before you fall asleep. Take it, close your eyes.
Make it work while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Like that's the smartest way. And that's why I say at night, because then you're not, oh, did I take this? Did I not take this? It's just right there. Our driver for that is lungwort lichen, by the way. So the lungwort lichen is the biofilm buster herb that we use, and it'll drive the cinnamon inside.
What tincture is that in?
Metal Flush.
So Metal Flush. Oh my gosh, I just love this because I didn't know that before.
Oh, yeah. Metal Flush pulls the heavy metals out and then also breaks the biofilm. And when we added that in, so our original kit did not have Metal Flush in it. I realized in like a year and a half into this that we really needed to have more of a biofilm busting herb. So we added Metal Flush because it was so important to bust the biofilm.
Yeah.
And so I had studied and researched enough at this point that metals hold them down. And that's what we were all seeing in the fulvic soak when there's like this weird floaty, shimmery stuff. That's heavy metals coming out of your pores. And so they're weighing down the parasites. So it's almost like you have to do a series that we have given in the kit.
You're covering more ground. To me, like you adding that in.
It's a biohack stacking.
Biohacking. I love that with the ParaFy Cleanse, you cleanse out so much more than just parasites. There's parasite cleanses out there, but with ParaFy, you really are cleansing out heavy metals, bad bacteria, candida, viruses, mucus. the biofilm.
And even
like that.
cinnamon helps because they're holding spores. So you really need something in there to assist with spore removal.
Yeah.
And so cinnamon is that assistant.
Yeah.
So you really, and I learned this because we had a bad cleanse. We didn't know that the heavy metals weighted things down. You have candida that will flare up when you're doing just wormwood.
Yeah.
So you need something to calm the candida down. You need a binder. So the worms drop the heavy metals, the worms drop the spores. So what do you need to come in and sweep those out?
We've said this before on another episode, but I just have to give Jer his flowers again because it's one of my favorite things. When they were coming up with the recipe, Jer said, if they want to see worms,
let them see worms.
As in they wanted to put enough herbs in every tincture to where if you want a parasite cleanse and see worms, you're gonna see them. And everyone, I mean, if you don't know, now you know, I have seen hundreds of worms leave my body, including here we are in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I haven't had a worm come out of my nose in months. If you don't know, I've had worms leave my nose from the ParaFy Cleanse. Over 100 I blew out of my nose over the past year and a half. And it's been months, haven't seen them. I'm like, oh, they're all out of there. And then here we are. We spend one day in the shop. I'm around all of these herbs. I'm smelling them. I'm in the frequency of the ParaFy Cleanse. I'm with the worm queen who carries a frequency that if you're around her, you will probably just discard a worm from being in her presence. And just the other night, a worm came out of my nose. And I'm like, Kim, a worm came out of my nose last night. Like, this is insane. Like, what in the world? So when you very first did the ParaFy Cleanse yourself, did you see worms?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
From your own
From
cleanse.
my own
How
cleanse.
cool is that?
And I looked at Jeremy and I said, oh, yeah, you put enough herbs in there.
Parasites hold on to heavy metals, mold, bad bacteria. They hold on to viruses. They hold on to all this stuff. They have a biofilm around them. So they're holding on to stuff. So just because you're doing a mold cleanse doesn't mean that it's going to kill the parasites and move the parasites out that have all this mold in their little biofilm home with them. So it's like target the parasites first, their biofilm, their nests, their homes, wherever they're living. Get as many of those out as possible and then move on to cleansing the mold out. And that's like the correct order in which to do things. So that's that in a nutshell.
And you're exposing the mold because you're breaking, because all environmental toxins live in a biofilm, which is like, if you think about it as an egg, the inside of an egg is all the toxins and the outside is the shell of the egg. And so you got to crack that in order for you to get into the egg. And so what we're doing is we're cracking that biofilm shell of environmental toxins like spores. Spores also go through biofilm. So you're actually exposing them and you're able to get more when you do ParaFy Parasite Cleansing first. 2 to 3 times is what we recommend.
Yeah, nice. I still haven't done the moldies. It's on the list for me to do in 2025 for sure. I did just do 1 week ParaFy. I did the full-blown cleanse for 1 week. Saw worms. Not like in the toilet like I used to. So that at least is telling me like, okay, I think I got the majority of those out, but definitely a couple came out of my nose once again. I think I even peed one out. I think so. I'm like 95% sure. Because it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but when you do, your gut kind of tells you, your instinct kind of tells you, because when you pee and then there's something like there that's kind of worm shaped and a little white in the water, it's like, what else could that be?
Right.
So
and we're asked a lot why you have to do so many, and it's because they can multiply so fast. I mean,
they reproduce
so fast. Just a tapeworm can deposit 1 million eggs a day because it has 46 uteruses in one segment. So as soon as it starts to feel afraid, it starts dumping its eggs because it wants to continue its family lineage.
They're intelligent organisms. I tell people that
smart.
all the time. They're really smart. They've created an ecosystem in your body. You are the host. It's like what the earth is to us as humans. That's what our bodies are to parasites. So it's a good point, Kim. The reason you need to be ParaFy Parasite Cleansing 3 to 4 times a year is because the ones already in you do reproduce at a very fast pace, but also every single day of our lives, we're constantly coming into contact with them through every source imaginable. To be honest, you guys, there is not another. Listen, Kim's confident, but she's also humble, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it for her. There is not another parasite cleanse on the market like it. It is a full body, very complete. It covers it all. It's effective yet gentle. I mean, what else is there out there like that? Nothing. It comes with a binder. It also cleanses you of worms, of candida, of heavy metals, of bad bacteria, of mucus, of viruses. What else out there is attacking all of these things at one time? Like, no one, nothing. So ParaFy's the way. ParaFy's the way. But again, all these other things it's great to use as support along with. So like we say, like up your pumpkin seed intake, eat pineapple, take black seed oil, like all the other things you can be doing simultaneously to support it. Of course, that's a great idea. But those aren't the main cleanse is what she's saying. You need a complete, very well thought out and crafted with brilliance and thoroughness cleanse like ParaFy.
So when I was scrolling with purpose, I ended up coming across that girl's TikTok video, and she was talking about how worms almost unalived herself. And obviously I stopped and I was like, oh, what I've just been through. Is this a possible thing? And then I remember getting a test, and then I got positive on the test from parasites.org, and I immediately called you and said, I'm not sure what to do. And you said,
I've been in the same place where I've also had worms and it wouldn't test positive.
You
and
had
I couldn't
worms
get
before.
treatment. Yeah, I got worms in Bali.
Dr. J had worms.
Yeah,
worms in Bali. Okay,
yeah,
so
yep. And so I was like, I got you. I know.
Yeah.
And nobody.
because no one would believe me.
No,
and
nobody
so
would
I
believe me.
said, I'm not sure what to do here, Jay.
Yeah.
Dr. Giles, I'm not sure what to do. And she goes, don't worry about it. I've got you. I had worms one time in Bali. And I'm like, girl, what do you mean? And she,
Yep.
so how did you get worms in Bali?
I was there for 2 months and I forgot to brush my teeth with bottled water one time. One time. And that's all it took. That's all it took. And I knew that I had worms because I had a bunch of symptoms that I was, first of all, I was seeing them. Second of all, I had a bunch of symptoms that I had never had in my life. And so there was a clear delta. There was a clear change. Like,
You were seeing them come out in the toilet?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%. And I could feel them. I could feel them coming out at night, basically. And it was messing with my sleep and all that. Yeah, no, like.
did you get some Scotch tape?
No, I didn't even have to. I didn't even have
She
to
knew.
because I had the symptoms and I knew. I was like, I know exactly what this is. I know where this came from. Went to the naturopathic clinic for my school. They tested me and said, we can't find anything. It's totally normal. We can't treat you because it's the treatment, like the risks of treatment outweigh the benefits if we can't find anything. And I was like, yeah.
Sidebar, you were seeing worms in the toilet.
Yep.
You were feeling them come out
Yep.
at night, and you got tested for worms and it came back negative.
Correct.
Yeah.
So just a testament to everyone. We do always talk about this, but these parasite tests are not always accurate. And a lot of the time they're not. I was tested before I got my gut tested and it did come back positive, but I can't count the number of times we hear people report back in the community that they got
including me.
tested and they came back negative.
Yep.
And there's so many variables and factors into why they only test a small amount of the stool, whatever. There's all these different things, but do not depend or rely just on test results to decide if you have parasites or not. A ParaFy cleanse isn't going to do you harm either way.
Yep.
It's going to help you no matter what. And if you have a hunch or instinct that you have parasites or worms, I would just go ahead and pull the trigger and do a ParaFy cleanse.
Well, I say do it 3 to 4 times a year. I mean, we're just exposed all day, every day. Like you just don't even know your water in Bali, water in
Exactly.
Hookworms.
That's where
that
it.
kind of was like a light bulb moment because
man.
when we figured out that I had worms, and then I started cleansing. So I cleansed, and then I figured out I had worms, and then I figured out it was in my water, and it was definitely a contributing factor that you had gotten when you brush your teeth in Bali.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And there was, I tell patients this all the time, there was no ParaFy kit at the time. So I had, and they wouldn't treat me. So I had, and I was in my first quarter of medical school. So I didn't even I knew only what I had taught myself. And so I had to get online and read everything I could possibly read about what natural things kill pinworms, pinworms.
And that's hard. Pinworms are difficult. They're lice of the butt.
Thank God. Thank God I had just gotten it. I got symptoms really quickly. I knew what they were. And so I was able to treat it super early. And I just stayed on it. I had to stay on this protocol that I created for myself for about 6 or 8 weeks daily on it. And I continued to treat for at least a month after I had no symptoms because I knew there's still eggs, there's still the life cycle. I just kept going with it. And it was a lot of also fiber to bind and get it out. And that was part of the whole thing. So thank God they never came back. I could definitely tell from symptoms because I was symptomatic and I knew exactly what they were. Honestly, within probably a week of starting my protocol, all the symptoms started getting better. But again, I was just so on it and diligent because I was extremely motivated to not let them come back. It was horrifying. I was the worst, horrified. Man. I was horrified. It was horrifying.
What makes it so good for me to be the worm queen, specifically because I get it. It's and you feel so invaded.
Oh, so
you feel so
so invaded.
It's so intrusive.
It's so intrusive.
So intrusive.
Yes.
Intrusive.
Yeah.
I've been cleansing for going on 2 years now, okay? Off and on, lots of ParaFy cleanses, okay? They're still exiting my nose.
They reproduce so fast. It's really hard to gain control. And you've even done big P, so synthetics, and you've rotated. And it's just a process. I saw one a couple of weeks ago.
So that not feeling good right before they exit is a big thing. And it could possibly be the moment they're dying or
and they're
something.
Pulling, your body's pulling the energy in order for you to be able to push it out more. So it's gathering all of the energy to that one way of pushing that toxin out of your body. So you're not feeling that. And then it's also them dying.
As
and they're
die,
releasing pee, poop.
Which is called a what?
It was so as they die, it activates basically the allergic type pathway. It's called a Herxheimer response, histamine degranulation. First of all, that's neurotoxic. So it causes a lot of mental and emotional imbalance and a lot of brain fog and feeling really off. But it is basically a systemic inflammatory response or allergic type response that happens anytime that there's a parasite dying in your body, even if it's just one. But of course, if you're riddled with them, that die-off is going to be a lot greater and it's going to cause systemic symptoms. That's called a Herxheimer reaction. It's well documented in medical literature.
Yeah, the good news is it's always temporary, and it's better out than in.
Yes.
So you don't want these things living in you.
No.
So any kind of fear of die-off symptoms or having that reaction should not prevent you from parasite cleansing.
No.
You need to get them out. So for any first timers who never have yet, we highly, highly recommend that you do go to RogersHood.com and get yourself a ParaFy kit. Please get a ParaFy kit for you and your family. You need this in your life. If you've never parasite cleansed before, you need to do one because you do have them. Everyone comes into contact with them. You can go to RogersHood.com. You can use the code What's Eating You. What's Eating in the letter U is how we spell it for 10% off all kits, cleanses, and products at RogersHood.com. So definitely want to encourage everyone to do that. But if you already are a seasoned cleanser like we are, you still need to do them because I shared, I've been cleansing now for a while and they're still leaving my body. So we are constantly coming into contact with them, but they also are constantly reproducing as well. So important message, cleanse.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is becoming a trend with the environmental toxins and
parasite cleansing,
mold
cleansing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's definitely trending super hard.
Well, who do you think
made
it trend?
Right, absolutely. I literally have patients who ask me about you. And they don't know you're my patient, or a lot of them don't even know you're my patient. They're just like, so I saw this lady and she's talking about parasite cleansing. I'm like, Kim Rogers? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know Kim. I'm like, I'm her doctor too. And they're like, what? And so then of course they all want to do your kit. And so a bunch of people have decided to do your kit, and then, or I'll tell them. There are other people that I'm like, you got to do this. Everybody responds. Everybody responds.
Yeah.
Everybody has some, like you said, even if somebody doesn't have parasites, it helps with so many other dysbiosis issues and other overgrowth, other nasty things, anti-inflammatory. So everybody generally feels a lot better afterwards, regardless.
And you might not know this, but out here in the community, but Dr. Giles actually helped me formulate the ParaFy kit. She and I went over the herbs because this wasn't really my forte at the beginning of all of this. I mean, I come from Western medicine, so charcoal was what we used in the ER to like bring someone back that overdosed or had alcohol poisoning. It wasn't anything like, oh, you take a microdose of this and then it helps pull toxins. I'm like, what is that? So you helped create the cinnamon, Ceylon cinnamon and coconut activated charcoal, because when you got me tested for the second time and I still was positive for parasites in my body, that's when you were like, oh, you need to bind. And I'm like, well, I'm doing charcoal and I don't really do well on charcoal. My particular body just doesn't do good on it. And you're like, add a little cinnamon. And then I was able to at least cut some of that charcoal and help with inflammation.
You were made to be the worm queen, worm whisperer for sure. This is your calling in life. But again, I love what we just mentioned though about first, Dr. J said, well, we knew the parasites had been dealt with. That layer was like dealt with.
Yeah.
So then
that was
knew,
helpful.
So then we knew we needed to move on to the mold. And again, this just brings us back to what we're always saying about the order in which to do things. What did you call that though?
My order of operations.
Order of operations is ParaFy Cleanse first, at least 2 to 3 times, because you really want to address the parasites first because they hold on to the heavy metals, the viruses, the bad bacteria, the spores. If your pet has worms, should you also deworm?
1,000,000% yes. And definitely if you know your pet has worms, no words.
Okay,
absolutely
so
yes.
any and everyone who has a pet, a cat, a dog, a pig, a sheep, if they have worms and you've had to deworm them, please ParaFy Cleanse and deworm yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Or definitely toxo, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like don't mess with it.
Yeah. Did you ever say to a doctor or a surgeon or any medical professional that looks like a worm?
Yes.
What did they say?
Multiple times. I'm not going to name the names, but I have goosebumps. Multiple
What'd they say?
times. There's no way you have worms, Kim.
So they like laughed at you and thought you were crazy.
They totally gaslit me.
They gaslit you.
They totally gaslit me. And I'm like, okay, no problem, because worms are a frequency. They can control your mind a lot. They can tell you what to eat, but they can also tell you that you're wrong, that there's no way you have worms. And I know for a fact they can do that because I had some come out my face. And that's what made me go so viral is I used to have like this weird red thing. And when I squeezed it once, things came out.
So hold on really quick.
Moving.
Are you saying that worms gaslight you too?
100%.
Worms gaslight you to make you think you don't have worms so that you keep feeding them and they can survive.
That's right.
Newsflash. This is big news, everyone. Worms are gaslighters. That's
They
crazy.
really don't want to be caught,
But hold on. You said you would watch these videos and you would see things and be like, that looks like a worm. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and let it be known. There have been women who have ParaFy cleansed, who have reported when they are on their cycles and they're bleeding and they look in their period underwear or pull their tampon out, they see worms.
Yeah, 100%.
Or I know someone who she's like, I just pulled this out of me.
Yeah.
Or wiped and it came out with the blood and it is for sure worms. So this proves they live in our reproductive organs.
Right.
Do you think a lot of women who have endo have worms and parasites in their reproductive organs?
I did.
Do you believe that a lot of women that have endo
I
do?
believe it.
Okay.
I believe that women have worms in their reproductive system. And when you think it's a clot that comes out, it's very much not.
Ooh, that's crazy. Listen, I'm sure there are some blood clots. I'm sure there is some tissue.
Because the tissue's coming out.
I've seen multiple things that look like multiple things. Back when I ate the all-American diet and was not holistic and health conscious and all of that, I would see weird stuff. Knowing what I know now, could some of that have been worms? Yes, absolutely. With the amount of worms that have come out of me that I've seen leave my body and my nose, and I've even peed some out.
Yep,
I'm like,
same.
it's no question or doubt that they were absolutely living my reproductive system, which also tells me that's another reason why when you do ParaFy Cleanse and you experience easier cycles,
yes,
you've removed some of the harmful organisms out of those organs that were making those cycles worse.
yes.
So
well, they're shifting around. They're moving around. I mean, I know it sounds really creepy and crazy, but like they literally move in and out of the muscle, the tissue, and the blood. And a lot of people that go get things like live blood analysis, which is where they pull the blood out of your arm and then they look it under a microscope while it's alive and moving, and they see things immediately. I think we're just in such a world that we just don't think that this is possible for us as humans. And it very much is a problem, but there's a solution. And I just wonder like how much louder you can go with this solution because there's so many people that have done the ParaFy kit, done the lymphatic kit, done antiparasitics in general that have just made them feel better. So one of my really good friends that helped Jeremy understand how to grow mushrooms, his wife reached out to me and said, I heard you have endo and I heard that this is what you did to put yourself into remission. Because you guys, like in 2019, I was told I cannot have any more surgeries and I had to live this way. And I was like, wait, I haven't pooped in a month. I looked pregnant. I drink water and I would bloat immediately, which is all symptoms of a parasite. And so I reached out, she reached out to me, and the timing is so weird because his YouTube channel helped Jeremy learn how to grow mushrooms, which saved my brain. And then she in turn reached out to me and said, hey, I know that you have these kits. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to send you one.
Nice.
Oh, and they have a boy. And they had struggled for 3 years.
Oof.
And she wasn't quite ready to do like the actual infertility journey. And I said, why don't you just try this? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You get a little inflammation gone. You feel good for, a while. You do this 3 to 4 times a year. You give your body a little bit of a reset and break. Why don't try it? And she's like, you're right, Kim. They did. And 8 weeks later, she found out she was pregnant with a boy. Oh, and the cutest kid, just the cutest son. We sent them onesies that say RogersHood on them. Oh, I know.
So cute.
Just the cutest.
Oh, that is so beautiful. What a success story. I mean, I've definitely heard, many women talk about that infertility before cleansing and then after cleansing, being able to conceive. And I think that's really powerful. And something for everyone to just keep in mind, because if you are a woman, if you are a man and you have been trying and you haven't tried cleansing yet, why not?
Yeah, you can't lose anything other than some worms.
Yeah, and that's all right. Yeah. We'd like you to lose those.
Yeah, get rid of those.
Yeah. Do you think if you would have known about parasite cleansing back then in your 20s, if you would have parasite cleansed and gotten the worms and the parasites and the toxic load and the environmental toxins out, do you think it could have prevented you from having the hysterectomy or any of those surgeries?
Yes.
Wow.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
If ParaFy existed,
100% positive.
100%.
I'm 100%. I will never waver from that. I believe without 100% doubt that if I had the opportunity to have parasite cleansed with ParaFy or any antiparasitics, that I would not have needed a hysterectomy nor 13 surgeries. And that is a hill I will stand on and die. I say that because I know what I saw, I know how I felt, and I know exactly what was going on in my body looking backwards. I get goosebumps when I think about it, and it really is what changed the trajectory of my life and everyone around me now. And I say this because the pain I had on the right side that indicated that my endo was back went away within 3 days of me doing my first parasite cleanse. And that's when I dumped roundworm, flukes, and pinworms. And I also have some other things that eventually I'm going to share, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, I would not have needed a hysterectomy if I had done ParaFy Parasite Cleansing. And I designed it specifically for that reason. I immediately got started.
That is
that day.
That is so powerful. That's a beautiful place to wrap this episode up, because if that's not a testament and just such a powerful message, like, please, if you're hearing this, if you haven't ParaFy Parasite Cleansed yet, please, please, please go to RogersHood.com. We even have a code for you. Yeah. You can use What's Eating You. We spell it What's Eating in the letter U, and you can get 10% off all of the cleanses at RogersHood.com. But lighten your toxic load, get those environmental toxins out. Please, ladies, get those parasites and worms out of your reproductive organs. What a gentle cleanse.
Very gentle.
But very effective. And it's just such a powerful thing that can be a solution for a lot of people that you may have not tried yet.
Yeah.
And you do have options. You do have options when it comes to birth control. You do have options when it comes to your own sexual reproductive health. So please, please, please do your research before just listening to a Western medicine doctor or listening to anyone telling you that there's only one way, because there's not. And our bodies are very powerful, and they're self-healing, and they're very strong, and they're very resilient. And using nature as medicine, and using things like the ParaFy Parasite Cleanse.
Well, not just the ParaFy Cleanse.
Okay, what else?
The LymF Kit.
Okay.
So the LymF Kit has turkey tail in it and lion's mane. And I designed it this way so you could take it prior to the ParaFy Cleanse and during the ParaFy Cleanse, and you can take it after. And I do suggest that if you do have any hormonal issues or anything we've been talking about, you take it for life. The way that we double extract our turkey tail and our lion's mane, you get the most potent out of it. And it's because we double extract our mushrooms, and those tinctures being double extracted, we're getting the medicine from it alcohol ways, and then we're getting it from water. And so I would not be here the way that I am sitting and the way that I've healed without turkey tail and lion's mane. And the LymF Kit, I made it simple. It's 3 tinctures in a binder.
I love the LymF Kit.
It's the same thing as, it's so good.
It's so good.
You drain everything. It really is about just clearing these toxins, but specifically turkey tail.
The LymF Kit is so supportive.
Yeah.
It is so supportive. That's why it can be taken at any time. Before, during, after. Like she just said, if you've experienced anything we talked about on this episode, take it for life.
Yeah,
the LymF Kit.
It's a lifer.
So you had insomnia as a teenager.
Yes.
And now we know several reasons that cause insomnia. So let's break down some of them.
I even know now that my insomnia from when I was a teenager is because of parasites and Lyme. They're nocturnal creatures. They're up all night. They start wakening at 7 p.m. and then they're up. So at 7 p.m., that's their morning. And especially like knowing that around midnight is their noon. So they're just getting riled up for the day. And then they want to hang out and eat and do their thing and party, and they're doing it in you, and so you have insomnia because of it.
So having parasites and worms is a sign. If you have insomnia, you may have parasites and worms. Okay.
Yes, it's one of the symptoms and one of the signs of having a parasite.
Got it. So when it comes to parasite cleansing, when I very first was preparing to do my first ParaFy cleanse, I was studying all of the different drainage pathways that we have, right? And so we know the obvious ones: sweating, digestion, we know the lymphatic system. So there's all of these, like, you know, your most common ones. I learned about brain detoxing and how that is a drainage pathway. And so the only time your brain gets to release and dump toxins out of it is during deep sleep.
Wow.
So you must reach a point of deep sleep during the night and get a good amount for your brain to detox. And that's a drainage pathway. So prior to doing the ParaFy cleanse, when I learned about that, I was like, oh, so I need to prioritize sleep as well as exercise and sweating and making sure, you know, my digestion is working and all of these things. Like, oh, I also have to be getting deep sleep so that my brain can be detoxing.
So one time I remember, and it was, and I know what year because I was very much on film. It was 2021 and I had just gone viral, and I literally dreamed a worm came out of my neck, and it freaked me out. And I woke up and I looked at my neck and I had a mark. And it gives me chills. And I did a video and I said, you guys, this whole thing of like dreaming about worms, I don't dream. Like, I know everyone dreams, but I don't remember my dreams. And here I am remembering this one right when I woke up, and I look and there's a mark in my neck, and I talk about it and I'm like, oh my God, it's so wild how this can happen. So because I don't really have that whole dreaming world, we looked it up to see exactly what this means. And it means in some Native American cultures, worms are seen as symbols or renewal or regeneration, and they represent the cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
So dreaming about worms, this is what dreaming about worms means?
Yes.
So if you have a dream about a worm,
okay. You have renewal and regeneration, transformation, natural cycles, and healing.
Wow.
In some African cultures, worms are used in healing rituals to symbolize the cleansing and purification of the body. But it also, from my understanding, means you do have parasites in your body. Yeah. And a lot of people call me or text me or email me and tell me that they had a dream about worms, and then as soon as they woke up, they saw them physically. Yeah. Because they're that energetic and they have a spiritual connection, and they hold memories, and they hold all of these things that we're always talking about because they're alive in your body, and that's so creepy.
Yeah. During my first ParaFy cleanse, I was definitely dreaming about worms, but my whole life became consumed with worms. No. It's like I would be cooking in the kitchen and I would drop a little piece of lettuce and it would land on the ground in like the shape of a worm, and I'd look down and be like, oh, worm, and I'm like, oh my God, worms on the brain. But 100% when I did my first ParaFy cleanse, I would dream about worms for sure, but I was also seeing them in real life because they were leaving. But of course that's renewal and healing and a fresh beginning and all that. They were leaving my body. What's the connection between sleep and the full moon? Why are people more awake, and is it harder to sleep during the full moon? Why are we more wired?
They're awake.
What's
They're awake? The worms.
Say it.
The worms are awake. They're awake in the full moon. They're riding on your serotonin river highway, being able to get new communities in your body, moving around, because parasites and worms are not just in your gut. They're in your blood, your tissue, and your muscle. And so if you feel movement, if you feel itchy, especially right now as I'm saying all of this, you probably have parasites.
Oh, we're filming during a full moon. It's a full moon right now.
Moon.
Yeah.
Oh,
no wonder we stayed up till 3:30. Yeah, I know. I hear you. No wonder we stayed up till 3:30 the other night talking, and it was so easy to do just because we weren't tired. But during the full moon, your serotonin rises and your melatonin lowers. And they feed off of your serotonin, but because you have less melatonin, that's why you're not as tired. Right. Melatonin is what makes you sleepy. So
yeah, and the serotonin adjusts, and then they eat the serotonin, which is your happy hormone, and kind of like not making you feel crazy hormone. Yeah. So really, when someone says, oh, the crazies are coming out in the full moon, it's kind of true, because your serotonin balances with your melatonin, and now you're like, whoop. And this is like down here. So you're trying to balance, and your body's like, what's happening here? Because you have parasites. So you feel movement, it feels uncomfortable, you're wide awake, and that's why.
Make no mistake, breast implant illness is very real.
Yep.
And I've spoken on so many platforms about this, you guys. I mean, I was ghosted by so many doctors for 15 years. I was in and out of the ER. Doctors giving me, prednisone, giving me steroid shots, giving me antibiotics, give me this, give me that. It's all in your head. No, it's not.
Wow, gaslighting you.
Yeah.
Coming from Western medicine, you know how that is, right? It's all in your head.
It's all in your head. And the thing is that it's literally a physical thing that's in your body that can be tested for if you have the right doctors to help you test.
Yeah.
So what, did you just have mold in your breast implants?
I had.
Did you have parasites too?
Oh my God. I was the poster child for a parasite cleanse. right? So as you know, having done the Parasite Cleanse a few times now, your skin responds so quickly when you're getting rid of all the toxins in your body. My skin was such a mess. I mean, I had eczematous conditions. I had dermatitis all the time. My hair was falling out. It was frail. I mean, my eyes were always leaching because chemicals were coming, toxins were coming out of my eyes.
Well, that's also the mold, right?
Yeah.
The red all
and
the time.
the inflammation
Swelling.
in my joints, my whole body. I was just like on fire all the time. I couldn't regulate it.
Someone like myself from Western medicine, would I have ever thought that mold and parasites could live inside of the breast implants?
Can we please dive into that a little bit?
Yeah.
Because that part is like wild. So what about having this foreign object? We could also call it a foreign invader.
No, it is.
This is a foreign object. The body doesn't know what it is.
But what is it about that being in? Why does the mold and parasites go to it? Like what is that about?
I can speak to the mold. So think about a capsule that's just residing in a warm place. And where does mold grow?
Warm, dark.
Okay. So this implant is in a cavity, essentially.
Warm, dark, and wet.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's in a cavity, right? A man-made cavity. They've dug out the muscle, they've dug out the tissue, and put this implant in, and they sew you back up. So for me, they went through the nipple. So they push this thing in through the nipple, sew it up, and you've got this thing growing inside of you. It's warm, it's dark, and it's wet.
Oh,
and it's foreign.
And
it's a
foreign.
playground for it.
And when it's leaking,
it's a petri dish for it.
that's exactly what it is. It's a petri dish.
Mold and parasites growing in and on breast implants inside of women.
And they're supposed to be encapsulated, right? And when you get a leak, it's open. It's open. So if you have dogs or if you're not cleansing your body, where do you think those things are going to go? That is a perfect living environment for them. One, it's their own biofilm.
Their own ecosystem.
That's right. So and then they love to live together.
Mhm.
And a lot of people that had mold in them should get tested for Lyme.
Yes.
Because they're finding the studies showing that people that have mold in their body also will test positive for Lyme.
Absolutely.
And so those three things live together.
It's a symbiotic relationship. Get this. If parasites and worms and viruses and mold spores and heavy metals and all these things are bogging down your system, and the parasites and worms are hijacking your nervous system to survive, and the mold to survive in your body, right? Because these are intelligent organisms. They're intelligent living organisms that they're hardwired to survive just like we are. So they're using our bodies as their home, as their earth, right? Like we're their world, right? Our bodies are their ecosystems. Think about it this way. If the parasites and worms are hijacking your nervous system, how can you really target your nervous system first to heal if you have a hijacked nervous system? So to me, you need to be doing them side by side at the same time.
Red Artist
As well. That is a major immune and nervous system support. The Mushy's Wellness Kit.
Oh, yeah.
Full of nervous system support.
Yeah.
The LymF Wellness Kit. Full of nervous system support. So if you really are going to heal a chronic illness, you're going to heal symptoms, chronic symptoms, you're going to heal any of these things, you do have to target your nervous system. But that means you do need to ParaFy cleanse.
Right.
Because you have to get out the worms and the parasites that are hijacking them. I'll tell you, when I first did my first ParaFy Parasite Cleanse, the shift in my nervous system was so huge. I didn't realize that I was actually stuck in fight, flight, freeze mode. I would be chronically swinging from flight to freeze. Just constantly. I was in a vicious cycle of flight, which means I wanted to run from everything, escape from everything. I wanted to go and be alone and just isolate, and then freeze. So when I would then get to the isolate stage, I would get frozen, and then I get frozen and stuck in decision fatigue, would feel so overwhelmed I couldn't make a decision to start, and I would have this huge list. I knew what I needed to do, but it's almost like I couldn't conjure up enough energy to do it because I was stuck in freeze. When I did my first ParaFy Parasite Cleanse and I started seeing a ton of worms leave my body, I lightened my environmental toxin load. I didn't know how overloaded I was. And once I started getting those things out, it gave me a leg up. It gave me enough energy and enough strength to then target my nervous system and really work on it, really go in and do the deep work. I couldn't do it before parasite cleansing. I couldn't before ParaFy. I tried, and I was in a vicious cycle of getting sick all the time and then just freezing all the time. I couldn't get out of bed some days because I was just
stuck.
Stuck.
Yeah.
I felt
They're
stuck.
an energetic force the podcast that I did with Liz Kennedy that launched yesterday.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
Thanks,
so
Liz.
good, yes.
So good. Love her. We talk about how it's a spiritual thing and you're going through like a spiritual warfare because they're attached to you and you're changing your realm.
And your frequency.
Right? There's like this, you've taught the universe to follow you in this bubble and it gets used to it, and now all of a sudden you're removing what it thought was. So you're going like this and you're like nope, and now you go whoop, and all of a sudden it's got to follow you, and it takes a minute to do that, but it's worth it because they are an alive thing in our body. So they have their own nervous system. Something like a tapeworm and a hookworm, they have hooks and they're hooking into your nervous system, which is literally just electrical impulses that are then telling your body to do this, this, and this as it's, and it's going like that. Now, you got a slower delay because it has to go from the thought to it to you. So there's a delay.
Think about it like that too. Like, yeah, it's a spiritual thing. It's a frequency thing too. Because you're constantly attracting what you are. You're not attracting like what you want. You're attracting what you are. So whatever frequency you're vibrating at, that's the same frequency that you're matching what's coming to you. You're a magnet for matching your frequency. So like you're putting out this, well, if you're overloaded with environmental toxins that are weighing you down, that are vibrating on a low frequency, you're vibrating at that frequency. I told you, I worded it like this before, but I always felt before the ParaFy Cleanse, like I was like doing everything I could in life to level up, but I kept hitting a ceiling that I couldn't get past. I couldn't bust through the ceiling. It's like I would rise and then I'd like hit a thing I couldn't rise above, and I didn't realize I had all these vampire, energetic frequency, spiritual vampires weighing me down, literally little anchors in my body, weighing me down and keeping me down in a low vibration. I couldn't rise above it unless I got them out. And I had already done so much work for my healing journey and for my physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, energetic bodies. But if you don't get them out,
they lower you.
They really
keep
do.
you where you're at. They keep you, you said docile, and you start compounding things like fluoride, like we talked about, and you compound the heavy metals, and we have mold, and we have, Lyme is going to, explode because we're going to have better testing to show it. I mean, all of those things bog you down.
Yeah, so many worms.
So many worms.
You guys, I still can't wrap my head around how at this point in the game, after cleansing this long, I'm going on 3 years of cleansing regularly, that every now and then I still see a worm leave my nose.
Have you... I talked about your worms in your nose on my podcast yesterday. She was like, are you going to say your best friend's last name? And I'm like, well, yeah, she talks about it all the time. It's San Bruno. Yeah.
I already had to make the decision years ago. Am I going to go on the internet and tell all of them that hundreds of worms left my nose?
Have to do it.
All right. I feel like I have to.
We got to show everybody.
I feel like it's my duty. I still see floaters in the shape of worms. I actually just saw it when we started this live. When I looked over at you, it's like a clear thing in my eye, and it's literally like a little like thread. It's like in the shape of a worm. I can't help but when I see it think.
And then there's dots inside with eggs. I mean,
how do I get it out of my eyes?
Every time I start to see them and they start to swish, I go and I take ParaFy, Sustain, and Metal Flush. And because you did a binder, they'll probably bind up and you won't see them again for a minute, because binders really do help with that. And it's also your lymphatic system just needs to move a little bit more.
We want to give you all the latest information on this parasite flu happening from a parasite called Cyclospora. It's in America right now. It's spreading across the United States. It's in over 31 states at this point.
That have confirmed.
So that being said, we're going to dive into solutions today to stay safe and proactive, because this parasite is spreading fast and it's causing explosive diarrhea. Instead of coming on here fear-mongering, we're just kind of basically focused on spreading the information, letting you guys know what's happening. so you're aware and you can stay safe and proactive. We've been taking ParaFy, all the ParaFy drops in the ParaFy kit every day to stay proactive, because what it does is it makes your body inhospitable for them. So if you do come into contact with it, it's a lot less likely it can hang on and grab on and take hold in your body. So the ParaFy Parasite Cleanse can absolutely be a proactive approach to keep your gut, your body safe. So if you want to go and get one, you can head over to RogersHood.com and you can get 10% off all of their cleanses with the code What's Eating You.
Personally, myself, I've had other parasites and worms come out of my body that were not fully covered under the anti-parasitic that I took. Roundworm, flatworm, pinworms. Pinworms are really hard to navigate, and sometimes when you take a synthetic anti-parasitic, it kind of dusts them up and makes them like take over parts of your body, because the rest of the people got moved out, and so they're free to like roam about. And so I recommend anytime you're doing an anti-parasitic to wait 5 to 7 days and then do the ParaFy kit, because we are a pinworm specialty.
What about weight gain from a parasitic infection? Is that possible?
It
and
is.
If so, what parasite?
Tapeworms, roundworms. Pinworms aren't as, that's not one of the symptoms of them as much. Flatworm, whipworm, and hookworm. And the reason why is because they're stealing your nutrients. And while they're stealing your nutrients, your body goes into a malnourishment state. So it's going into a survival state, hanging on to all of the fat and hanging on to all of the nutrients it can, because it thinks it's starving.
Wow.
And that's because the worms are absorbing up to 6 to 8 times their weight in all of the toxins, and they steal 90% of your nutrients. So your body's like, what the hell's going on? And it just starts to store in fear that it's not going to get food anymore. And so you don't lose the weight. I know a lot of people, including myself, that I could not lose weight with my worms, and that was a big indication something was going on in my body, and it made me start to look at alternatives like parasite cleansing. Am I in mold? Do I have other environmental toxins that my body is fighting up against? So yeah, I think that it's just, when people ask me what a myth is, I'm going to say if you have a worm, you are skinny, or a tapeworm, you're skinny, because it's not true. It's not true. In fact, I don't.
Oh, you're saying that's a myth.
It's a myth.
Let's bust it.
Yeah, it's a myth.
Bust that myth, Kim. I have had cyclosporiasis for 3 weeks. I've been using the ParaFy kit for a week and a half.
Oh my God!
Good. I am finally getting better. Thanks, Kim. Woo! Wow.
Yay!
So happy for
Thanks.
you. So sorry you had to go through that. But the fact that you came in a week and a half later with ParaFy and you're like,
yeah,
get out of here. And
that's
you started
so
fighting
great.
it. Oh my
That's
God.
so great.
We're
It's
so
a
thrilled to
parasite.
hear that.
We're an anti-parasitic. Like, I mean, even if you don't use ours, which I want you to, because we formulated it so that it's simple, but wormwood, Oregon grapefruit, black walnut hull, like those are your supporting anti-parasitics.
Yes.
So,
My husband did ParaFy, never saw worms concerning.
No.
What can I change? He was doing sauna and eliminating well.
You might
He
not
may
have
not have had
anything
physical
to
worms.
see.
He may have had just microscopic parasites or candida,
Inflammation,
inflammation,
heavy
biofilm,
metals,
mucus. It doesn't mean it didn't do him well and that he didn't pass and get rid of a lot of things and environmental toxins that were weighing him down or, just not beneficial to his body. Not everyone sees something. Not everyone sees something physical. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It doesn't mean it's anything to be concerned about. Every body is different. Everybody's body is different. And not everyone has the same kind of worms or parasites. So I just happened to be someone that had a ton of pinworms and threadworms in my body. And apparently blood flukes.
Oh my God, we were dissecting some of her pictures last night.
I'm not a big picture taker about what comes out of me, but a lot of fluky stuff came out a couple years ago, and I sent the picture to Kim, and then just last night on our worm episode that's coming up soon.
For What's Eating You.
Yes. We were filming a worm episode and we pulled it up and she identified it and they look like blood flukes. And I'm like, what?
They're flukies.
Crazy.
They're
Crazy.
Lion's mane and turkey tail are not anti-parasitic, but lion's mane goes through the blood-brain barrier and brings everything with it. And so when you take lion's mane with something like an anti-parasitic, it's helping cross all of the barriers in your body. And turkey tail helps break down scar tissue and help put me into remission. with endometriosis, and they give it to the big C patients that are on chemo to help break down tumors. And so that kit in particular is just a really great supporting of life kit. And I use a lot of turkey tail and lion's mane in it to allow so that you have a therapeutic dose.
Yeah,
to allow your body to use it more than just a supplement.
Well said.
I think this is just really teaching people how you need to wash your produce, how you need to watch eating raw produce out and about, how you need to make sure you cook your food.
And how you need to stay proactive. And the best way we recommend doing that is with the herbs. ParaFy Parasite Cleanse is a proactive way to protect yourself and protect your gut and your body by making it inhospitable for environmental toxins. You can get it now at RogersHood.com. Use our code What's Eating in the letter U, and that will get you 10% off. We also linked it right here below. We want to come on here, make sure you guys are aware and informed of what is happening right now. So thank you for tuning in with us. If you need more information, tap into any of the posts on Kim's page. She's putting out a lot of information about this parasite flu as it spreads. And this week there will be more even coming, because as things progress, she likes to keep you updated in real time. So definitely just stay tapped into her page. We love to hear that a lot of you heard about this parasite flu and then ran straight to her page, because you know where to get your info for parasites and worms. Who else, duh, but the Worm Queen. So thank you for tuning in and joining us for another What's Eating You Live. We have so much coming for you guys. We can't wait to share everything. We have an awesome Lyme episode coming very soon. If you missed this or just hopped on late or whatever, it's okay. We're going to repost it so that you guys can tap in and listen to all of the information. We thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for being a part of this community, for supporting us and being here with each other. And to everyone cleansing, happy cleansing. Stay safe to everybody. Stay proactive and take precaution to protect yourself and your families. And we'll talk with you soon. Bye.
Talking about what's eating you.